Want to continue on with our show, though, now and talk a little bit more about some of the issues that have been coming from the government shutdown. Obviously, we're in day 37 now, and lawmakers on both sides still really dug in, but the president is now calling out members of his own party, saying they need to end this shutdown. So, we're going to talk about the impacts on the ground, in the air, and in the economy as a whole. Andy Challenger is a workplace expert and the chief revenue officer at outplacement firm Challenger Gray and Christmas. Thank you so much for your time.
Thanks for having me.
I know it's a busy day for you as well. As I understand it, job cuts in October hit the highest level for the month in 22 years. So was this a gradual decline that got us to that place, or if it was sudden, what's behind that shift?
Yeah, we've been seeing an increased level of layoffs in the economy throughout the year. It started with the federal government, particularly with DOGE cuts, but that has extended throughout this entire year into the private sector. We've seen those elevated levels, but in October, we tracked a really big spike in companies announcing layoffs that they had just conducted or will be conducting over the next weeks, months, and quarters. So to us, that's a sign that there is some real damage being done to the labor market that we might not be getting information about because of the government shutdown and the fact that we're not getting Bureau of Labor Statistics stats regularly. And I think it is something to be concerned about.
Yeah, that's kind of leads into my next question. What are the implications moving forward for the labor market from this?
Yeah, so we've been seeing a cooling labor market, means it's getting worse for job seekers for a year and a half, but it's been really, really gradual. The Federal Reserve and
Mm-hmm.
economists talk about what they were trying to achieve as a soft landing, where we got away from the extreme labor shortages that we were seeing in the COVID period, but the economy doesn't tip into recession and there's not serious damage done to the labor market. Right now, it looks like from a few pieces of data, we might be seeing an acceleration to the downside in the labor market that is concerning people that say these layoffs that have been announced could just be the start of things. And for our organization that works with companies that are conducting layoffs, we're expecting to continue to see this elevated level at least throughout the year.
Okay. So you also mentioned the fact that job creation is at its lowest point. How does that factor in? And then, like, what specific industries are seeing the greatest layoffs?
Yeah, we've been seeing just almost like a standstill in the labor market the last few quarters where there hasn't been too much hiring, there hasn't been too many layoffs, but there's a worry that we're now moving to the other side of that and that it really might pick up. And the areas where we're seeing the most job cuts right now are from the technology sector, an area of the economy that hired an enormous amount of people during COVID and the just post-COVID period, but are now kind of coming back down to earth and integrating artificial intelligence into their workforces, which might be having an effect. We're also seeing a lot of job cuts coming out of retail and warehousing. So, online e commerce, shopping, those are signs that potentially the increased costs and products due to tariffs and slowing consumer demand are actually now having an effect on those organizations in the space, and they're leading to real job cuts.
Yeah. Are there some industries where people should be looking?
Yeah, there are a couple areas of the economy that continue to grow. Healthcare is one of those areas. So, at hospital systems or health-related products, it's an area of the economy where we continue to see pretty strong hiring plans, and we know just from a long-term macro per perspective that there's going to be job growth in that area over the next decade. And so it's an area that's a good one to steer towards.
Really interesting. Okay, and do you have any other like demographic type of information in terms of who's most impacted by this?
We don't have it broken out quite at that level, although I will say, at least anecdotally, from the companies that we're working with and all these media announcements, there's a larger percentage of the population that is, those higher paying corporate white collar jobs than normal. We're seeing that come out of just about every industry. And to me, that is a sign, and companies are now explicitly talking about it as artificial intelligence coming in and being able to do some of those jobs in a way that is causing companies to change their workforce. That is surprising me. It's coming more quickly than I'd anticipated, and it's a real factor.
Just a couple more things that I want to get to. Do you have some advice for job seekers right now?
Yeah, my advice right now is if you're in the job search, don't take time off. Unfortunately, I can't anticipate that the job market is going to be better in the next 3 to 6 months than it is today. So when we're working with job seekers right now, there's a real push to try to get out there and find new positions, get interviews with people, do informational interviews, just talk to somebody at a company that you want to work for. It's a really important time to do that. And it's probably not going to be better if you wait.
Wow. Okay, and just on a final note, what would be the first signal that things are turning around?
Yeah, being positive again. Hopefully, we'd see some more job hiring announcements, and we'd see a slowdown in the layoff announcements that we're tracking. But that doesn't seem to be the trend right now. There's still the possibility that things kind of level off, and we have a nice, relatively soft landing in the economy. But right now, I think the majority of data signals that we have are pointing towards a labor market that's going to get worse for a period of time.
All right, I was trying to end on a happy note there, but at
Sorry.
least you have a realistic outlook on things, and even if it's sobering for us. Thank you so much for your time. I know it's a busy day for you, so thank you. We appreciate it.